We're counting down 8 hairstyles stylists say can add years to women over 60. We rank them from subtly aging to truly transformative. From common cuts that flatten features to styles that quietly highlight every sign of thinning, some will surprise you with how fast they can age your look. But which hair habit tops the list, and what should you choose instead? Let's find out, beginning with number 8. 8th place goes to helmet hair, the stiff sprayed style that refuses to move. Locked in place with heavy lacquer and endless teasing, this look calls back to the 1980s and the 1990s, a time when weekly salon sets and clouds of hairspray ruled. But what once signaled glamour now instantly signals age. Immobile hair draws attention to every line and the flattening of the face, exaggerating any loss of natural volume. Teasing and repeated product use dull the hair's cuticle, leaving strands brittle and lifeless. The mirror test is simple: if your hair doesn't move when you turn your head, it's aging you. Maintaining this style drains both time and budget, with frequent salon visits and a shelf full of styling products. Modern stylists agree, movement equals youth. Swapping helmet hair for a softer, touchable finish is one of the fastest ways to look more current and refreshed. Number 7 is the overly short pixie, cropped so close it leaves nothing to soften the face. When hair is buzzed tight to the scalp after 60, every subtle change in skin and bone becomes more visible. The neck, now exposed, reveals wrinkles and sagging that a little length would help disguise. Jawlines lose definition with age, and a super short cut draws attention to drooping or asymmetry. Hair growth naturally slows in later decades, averaging about half an inch per month, so patchy regrowth and uneven texture are common. Maintenance becomes a constant cycle. Without frequent trims, the style quickly looks unkempt. For most, this cut also strips away the feminine edge and introduces a sharper, more masculine look that is hard to pull off unless you have perfectly balanced features. Stylists caution that only a rare few can truly carry off this severe crop. For everyone else, leaving a bit more length on top and around the sides restores softness, frames the face, and takes years off your appearance. Number 6 is the severe blunt bob, cut straight at the chin with no layers and no softness. This style is all about harsh geometry, a single heavy line that sits rigidly around the face. For women over 60, the effect can be unforgiving. As facial contours change with age, a blunt bob magnifies every shift in the jawline and neck, drawing attention to sagging or asymmetry that softer cuts would disguise. Without layers, hair sits flat and static, lacking the movement and volume that create a youthful impression. Stylists report that 70% of women over 60 have worn the same basic haircut for more than a decade, and the blunt bob is a common holdover. But what once felt chic now reads as severe, especially as hair thins and loses its natural bounce. Maintenance is another issue. This cut grows out awkwardly and demands constant trims to keep its shape. Instead, stylists urge a shift toward layered bobs or textured cuts, where softness and movement replace the helmet-like outline. Swapping a blunt edge for a few well-placed layers can instantly lift the face, add dimension, and take years off your appearance. Number 5 is the one-length hairstyle with a center part, a look that quietly ages women over 60 by emphasizing every sign of thinning and facial asymmetry. As hair naturally loses density and fullness with age, a straight cut with a center part draws attention to widening parts and exposes more scalp, especially when strands turn gray. Studies on age perception show that gray hair alone can add up to 6 years to how old a woman appears, and a center part amplifies this effect by splitting the face and highlighting unevenness that becomes more pronounced after 60. Without any layers to create movement or volume, this style sits flat against the head, dragging features downward and making the whole face look longer and more tired. The lack of lift at the crown means there is no visual support to counteract sagging or volume loss in the cheeks. Stylists point out that a simple shift to a side part can boost crown volume by as much as 20%, creating a subtle lift that mimics the effect of a gentle facelift. Adding face framing layers brings softness and dimension, steering attention to the eyes and cheekbones instead of drawing it down. For anyone hesitant about a dramatic change, switching the part and requesting a few layers is an easy, low-risk experiment that can instantly refresh your look without sacrificing length. The difference is immediate. More volume, better face framing, and a youthful softness that is hard to achieve with a center part and blunt length. Long, straight hair that falls past the shoulders is a style many women hold on to feel youthful. But after 60, biology often works against this look. Hair density can drop by as much as 50% after menopause, and the weight of long hair only exaggerates that loss. The result is a flat crown, limp mid-lengths, and ends that look sparse and frayed. Each extra inch of length pulls remaining strands downward, dragging the eye away from the cheekbones and toward the jaw and neck, where volume is already fading. Thinning is especially visible at the ends where breakage and split tips become impossible to hide. Trichologists describe this as follicle miniaturization, the shrinking of hair shafts and the loss of fullness that accelerates after estrogen declines. For women experiencing this, long hair can feel heavy and unmanageable, requiring more time and more product just to keep up appearances. Maintenance becomes a chore, with split ends and dryness setting in faster than ever. Stylists report that 60% of women over 60 with long hair show visible signs of thinning. Yet many hesitate to make a change because a partner or habit favors length. Those objections rarely hold up once a shorter, layered style reveals a fresher, more lifted look. While truly thick, healthy hair can sometimes carry length, that is the exception rather than the rule later in life. For most, clinging to extra inches only emphasizes what has been lost. A well-placed cut, even done gradually, can restore volume, frame the face, and shift attention back to the eyes. If you are asking whether to finally cut your long hair, the evidence is clear. Shorter, layered styles offer a better chance to look and feel younger. Number 3 is the long layered cut with side-swept bangs, a style that bridges the gap for anyone reluctant to give up length, but eager for a more youthful look. Unlike one-length hair that drags the face downward, this cut uses strategic layers to build movement and volume, making thinning less obvious and bringing softness back to the features. The ideal length sits from the shoulders to the collarbone, long enough to pull back if needed, but light enough for layers to do their lifting work. Stylists point to celebrities Diane Keaton, Goldie Hawn, and Christy Brinkley, who keep their hair long but rely on face framing layers and soft angled bangs for a modern, elegant effect. Unlike the textured pixie, which requires confidence and the right bone structure, long layers with bangs suit a wider range of face shapes and offer a familiar sense of femininity. Maintenance is the trade-off. Side-swept bangs need a trim every 3 to 4 weeks to stay fresh and avoid splitting, and long hair in this age group demands weekly deep conditioning to combat dryness and breakage. Styling takes a bit more time, usually 15 to 20 minutes in the morning, to coax out the right amount of bounce and keep the ends polished. But for those unwilling to go short, this cut is a compromise that works with, not against, the realities of post-menopausal hair. The layers hide thinning, the bangs soften lines, and the overall look feels romantic and current, not like an attempt to cling to the past. It lets you keep your length with the movement and framing that modernizes your appearance and subtly takes years off your look. Number 2 is the modern textured pixie, a confident, low-maintenance cut that proves short hair can be both chassis and flattering after 60. Unlike the harsh, ultra-short pixie that exposes every line and shadow, this version leaves 2 to 4 inches of length on top, allowing for real styling versatility. The secret lies in the texture. Layers are cut to create softness, movement, and a playful edge so the hair never sits flat or helmet-like. Tapered sides hug the head without being buzzed, bringing a feminine touch that avoids the severity of a close crop. For women with strong bone structure, this style brings out cheekbones and eyes, shifting the focus upward and away from any sagging at the jaw or neck. Stylists point out that a textured pixie is especially kind to graying hair, turning silver strands into a statement rather than something to hide. The cut works with natural waves or curls, embracing the unique texture that often emerges later in life. For many, the daily routine becomes refreshingly simple. Just a quick wash, a dab of texturizing paste, and a tousle with the fingers. 5 minutes is all it takes to look put together, but the trade-off is in the upkeep. To keep the shape sharp and the style intentional, trims are needed every 4 to 5 weeks. The cost is higher than longer cuts, and skipping appointments can quickly lead to a grown-out, uneven look that loses its impact. This style is not for the faint of heart, and it makes a bold statement that requires a willingness to stand out. Stylists recommend a thorough consultation before taking the plunge, especially for anyone unsure about their face shape or comfort level with short hair. The payoff is dramatic. A well-executed textured pixie can take years off your appearance by drawing attention to your best features and signaling modern confidence. For women ready to embrace their gray, lighten their morning routine, and make a fresh start, the textured pixie offers a runway-ready look that feels both liberating and unmistakably current. It says you are not hiding from age, you are owning it with flair. And finally, in first place, the layered bob stands as the most effective, universally flattering haircut for women over 60, aiming to look instantly younger. This style hits the sweet spot between chin and shoulder length, offering enough presence to frame the face without weighing it down. The magic is in the layers. By distributing weight and building volume at the crown, a layered bob restores fullness where age tends to take it away. Stylists consistently report that clients who switch from heavy, blunt cuts to a layered bob see a transformation not just in style but in how others perceive their age. In fact, a widely cited photo study found that women with short, layered cuts were judged to look 8 to 12 years younger than in their before photos, a striking result even if it hasn't yet been replicated in formal scientific trials. The effect is immediate. Layers create movement and softness, breaking up the static helmet-like appearance that can add years. This movement lifts the eye upward, drawing attention to the cheekbones and eyes, and away from the jawline or neck. Practicality of the layered bob cannot be overstated. It grows out gracefully, requiring trims only every 6 to 8 weeks. Far less frequent than a pixie, but with more structure than long. One-length hair. Styling is quick, often taking just 10 minutes in the morning with a round brush and a touch of volumizing mousse. For women with fine or thinning hair, the cut's architecture cleverly camouflages sparse areas and gives the illusion of density. The layered bob is also endlessly versatile. It can be worn sleek and straight for a polished effect, tousled for casual volume, or with soft waves for added dimension. Celebrities reinforce its reputation. Michelle Obama during her White House years made the layered bob a defining look, praised for its elegance and approachability. Sharon Stone and Helen Mirren have both adopted variations, proving the style's power to flatter a wide range of face shapes and hair textures. Stylists point out that the layered bob works equally well with or without bangs and can be customized with face framing pieces to soften strong features or add lift to rounder faces. Maintenance is manageable both in terms of time and cost. Salon visits run between $40 and $100 for a quality cut, and the need for frequent product purchases is minimal compared to high-maintenance styles. Most importantly, the layered bob is forgiving. If you are nervous about a dramatic change, it offers a gentle transition from longer hair and can always be adjusted shorter or with more layers in future appointments. A professional consultation is key. Stylists recommend bringing inspiration photos and having an honest conversation about face shape, hair texture, and lifestyle before making the cut. For anyone on the fence, the layered bob is the safest starting point. A style that consistently delivers a refreshed, youthful appearance without the risk of looking severe or dated. In a world where hair frames every first impression, this cut offers the best return on investment for women over 60, balancing ease, elegance, and the kind of lift that can turn back the clock. Booking that salon appointment could be the most impactful beauty decision you make this year. Across every style examined, one pattern stands out. Movement and softness always win over rigidity and harsh lines. For women over 60, hair isn't just about fashion. It's about restoring volume, framing the face, and reflecting vitality. The right cut doesn't chase youth, it celebrates confidence and life experience. In hair, as in aging, embracing change is the real secret to looking and feeling younger.